Cause he want a life, and life's I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. And life's I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, flashing on these high beams.
What's going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. For the people that are out there in the chat, for the people that are watching, let me know what's going on. Hoodlum, how you doing? I want to be able to go over the press conference today. But before we do that, man, I want to make sure that I go over my notes that I do have, because I do have some good notes from the preseason game. I went back, I replayed it, I watched it today. Let's start off with some positives. The linebackers, they played really good yesterday. The linebacker play was good. Like the way that they flew to the football, despite the defensive line really not giving them the help, us not really having a presence in the D-line room, So shout out to those guys. Trying to think of positives. Tyler Booker had some solid blocks out there. Booth got a pick. Booth actually made a play yesterday. I don't think that his play was particularly like the greatest or anything like that, but he made a play and got us in the end zone. The offense didn't get us in the end zone yesterday, which, we'll talk about. I'm going to let Shotty talk, and then, I'll let people react to the things in the comments and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll get into that. Damone Clark. So I talked about linebackers already, but I wanted to specifically say this. Damone Clark played his ass off yesterday. Played his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like balled out. Cooked. You know what I'm saying? Cooked. And I'm proud of him, because I've been somebody that has been very critical of Damone Clark and his development. And yesterday, you see with some coaching and confidence can change and transform a player, and they can get them from level B to level A. And yesterday was the best that I've ever seen Damone Clark look, period, especially in the NFL. So shout out to the coaching staff, for the linebackers. They did an excellent job. They've done an excellent job with this linebacker group. Sanborn looked good, the whole unit. But I specifically wanted to point out Damone Clark's performance yesterday. Deuce Vaughn a couple of times, and you guys know, got the RB1 mindset hat on and stuff like that. Deuce Vaughn a couple of times looked physical.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me.
Can y'all hear me? Throw the ones in the chat. Throw me the ones in the chat if y'all can hear me. It should be good now. It should be good to go. All right, cool. So I talked about what's the last thing y'all heard? Was the last thing that y'all heard was Deuce and his physicality in the pass pro game? Because I'll start there and then I'll go back to Tolbert. I thought Deuce did himself some favor with how he showed up on tape yesterday. I still don't think that he's getting a fair shake in this competition. I still don't think. And from what we read yesterday, it looks like Javonte Williams is your RB1. I don't know how he became RB1 without any live action. You know, it's not like Miles Sanders really did himself any favors yesterday, but still, I don't think anybody is too good in that room to where they shouldn't have shown something on tape in live action. I don't think anybody is. So, but it looks like he's going to be your RB1, and it doesn't look like Deuce really got an opportunity this preseason. And that's a shame. That's a shame. Unless they're going to go and unless they're going to make a move for a running back, I don't really understand how we're handling the running back situation. I mean, Miles did some good things yesterday. Phil Maffa did some good things yesterday. I still think we overblow Phil Maffa a little bit. Pause. I still think that, like, we look at all the good things, but we don't look at all the bad things. He wasn't that great in pass pro. Pad level still pretty high. Malik Davis, I think the couple times we did give him the ball, he has the best running back instincts out of all of the running backs. I just don't know. You know, there weren't times that they stayed in there and asked him to pass pro. So, I mean, I still got question marks there. I still do. But let's actually go to the press conference. All right. And let's see if Shotty has some answers. So just to let y'all know, I have not watched this. This is a true reaction to it. Okay. So we're going to let Shotty talk a little bit.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. How concerned
Make sure you hit that like button.
Joe Milton right now?
I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I mean, you know, again, he, we didn't get into rhythm offensively. You know, it's, what we did in the first half against the Rams, I think came out with a little bit of a different mindset in terms of trying to run the ball. They got him. They fooled him a little bit on the safety on the third down there. We're trying to get the ball out of his hand fast, and they showed down one side, Calvin, and brought the blitz from the other side, and it just spooked him. And he's got to try to throw that ball away. His feet were kind of talking to him, but it wasn't just Joe. I mean, we got to be able to run the ball better. Got to take care of the football. He throws the ball with a lot of tempo. I thought Hunter had a ball. He could have made a catch on the over. And again, you hit a couple of those things and it gets you going. Mm-hmm. Sometimes,
He's right about rhythm.
You need somebody to help you make a play. And
he's right about rhythm. That's one thing we haven't gotten in the two preseason games on offense is a steady rhythm. There might have been pockets where we've gotten maybe one or two times where we've had some rhythm, but we haven't been able to establish rhythm. And I don't know if we're not able to establish rhythm because we're not really good at anything, but it looked like we were shell-shocked, backed up against our own end zone, which in actuality, too, if you think about how that whole sequence went, we made them punt again. When we were a little bit more outside the end zone, we made them punt. But then Tolbert, like I talked about with Tolbert, I said Tolbert, outside of him getting the ball, the things that he's going to have to do, he got a block in the back penalty that pushed us back. Tolbert been playing soft this preseason. I don't know why he a lock. I just don't. Not from like, if you tell me based on last year, that's what it is, then don't preach this competition shit to me because I don't believe a damn word you say. And it's lining up that way, guys. Wasn't nothing, no competition. Shotty been full of shit this whole time. He been full of shit. He been lying. He been telling people what they want to hear while massaging them people upstairs, bro. Straight up. Competition. Javonte Williams sold up a RB1 spot already, and he ain't done shit. Tolbert a lock on his team, and he out there putting out bad film. Come on, bro. But I let him keep talking.
I don't think we did a great job of that. I just told the guys, I said, hey, the bottom line is this, we're not going to say that that's just a preseason game. We're not just going to say, oh, we'll be fine. We're going to look at it, because the fact that, we really lost both halves, that is something that we have to get corrected. There's too many good football players, too many good coaches for us to perform the way that we did tonight.
That falls on you.
We'll look at the film. We'll find out the things that we did.
But we're not prepared once
there'll
again.
Certainly be a ton of corrections that we have to make, and we'll dive in first thing in the morning.
Okay, so I'm going to get back to letting him talk. And I get it. Both sides are doing vanilla things, but we're not prepared once again. We're not prepared for live action. That falls on your coach. That falls on him now. You're no longer a coordinator, but you're a head coach, bro. And some of the things that y'all have been doing have led to this lackluster energy of this team. Now, it sounded good, and the ping pong table and all of that type of stuff was all cool. Kumbaya this, kumbaya that, but your actions ain't matching your words. And when Jesse said it, a lot of people went against what Jesse was talking about. Give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance. How many chances y'all need somebody to keep lying to y'all? Keep lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen anything different. Quite frankly, I think Mike McCarthy in experience is a big teacher, but I think he had things more together, even with the preseason game, than Schotty does. I think he had things more together, and I know that he's a first-time head coach. That's not what I'm talking about here, guys. I'm talking about things not matching up to what you're talking about. And, told Jesse Holley it's just preseason, it's not going to look a certain way, or we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But then he sat here and just told y'all that, it's not just a preseason game. We lost both halves and this and that and blah, 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 blah. It's going to be some growing pains. We have to realize that it's going to be some growing pains with our coach. But just understand that if he wants to be who he thinks he wants to be, and he wants these players to perform the way that they need to, your actions are going to have to line up with the bullshit you're trying to tell us. All right, let me play.
Broke camp, you said, I don't have a backup. After seeing Joe for 2 weeks, you got one left. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, again, I feel like I don't have to decide anything today. We going to keep letting these guys practice. I just told the guys, get ready, because, the couple practices this week are going to be really physical, and we have to. But it's like all these position battles. We don't have to decide anything now. I think, like with the receivers, we were trying to get a good look at a couple of those guys that were fighting for those spots, and I thought a couple guys stepped up and did a nice job. I thought.
Hold on, bro. Hold up. Again, full of shit. Got to start calling these people out, bro. Full of shit. If your backup situation ain't set, then why the hell are we wasting the whole preseason trying to figure out what the hell Joe Milton is, bro? Wasted a whole preseason, wasted players' opportunities. Everybody else to go out there and try and figure out what the hell Joe Milton is. If he's not your backup, then what the hell are we doing? We've wasted weeks, bro. We've wasted reps. We've wasted opportunities of other guys who need these opportunities. What the hell you mean we haven't set it up? You better set it up, and you better figure out some shit. You better commit to something. I don't have to make a decision today. Then why we waste all these reps right now? Again, like I said, and I've been pointing this out. Somebody said let Greer play more. If that's the case, let Greer play more early. If that's what you're talking about. But don't sit here and feed me that. Don't feed me that, bro. Now, maybe that backup is on another team or something like that. But again, we wasted opportunities for these running backs to see exactly what the hell it is that we have in that room. We don't know. We don't know what we got in that room. We don't know who our best 5 to 6 receivers are technically. Really, we don't. We don't know what we have there. I'm sorry to feel a certain way, but when So yesterday I didn't get a chance to really watch the game. I just heard the radio and I followed Twitter. And then I watched it this morning and it was piss poor, bro. It was piss poor. And I know that it's preseason. I know that everything's supposed to be vanilla, but the things that we should be able to execute and the energy that we should be able to come with and the physicality, I just didn't see it outside of the linebacker group. I'm just gonna keep it 100, and maybe some of the running back room a little bit in the offensive line. I think some of the time, but consistency is something that we have been struggling with, and that goes to your coaching as well. So let me keep letting them talk.
Florino had a couple nice catches. Mingo made a great catch down the boundary. And then, I felt like we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with penalties when we would get some momentum.
Penalties.
And so we got to be
Still
clear.
the same issue.
Clarence Hill, DLS Cowboys. Comes in, you got off to a slow start again, and that's something you're not doing as well. It's not just not having plays, but you're not getting first down, which contributes to that. And why are you not concerned with the backup quarterback, Joe Milton's play, whatever?
Speak, Pop.
Opposite
Talk
side
to
of the
him.
field, you got a guy, Cooper Rush, who's won games here, and it shows you what you want in a backup quarterback. Do you know these guys can win games? Something had to happen to Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think we have to believe that. I think we do believe that. I think, again, when you put a game plan together for these guys and, whether you're playing with Joe or you're playing with Will, you're going to have a plan of how you want to play. Hey, look, Cooper Rush has played in this league for a long time. What he did tonight, it didn't surprise anybody in the first half. I mean, I've seen him do that for the last 3 years. And so Joe Milton's in year 2.
What up, Tuck?
So,
what up?
Again, I'm not panicked. Again, it's not just them. It's us as coaches. It's the other players. It's all that. But the biggest thing for me is, again, we just, we have to balance up the time of possession. We had the defense out there for over 40 minutes. That's too long. Well, why is that? Well, we weren't very good on third down. And we got to be better on third down. And they had a couple of wrinkles in the blitz game that we need to handle a little bit better. But for the most part, it's just really us executing.
Right there were times, right, where they just called better defensive plays than we had offensive plays. That happened. That happened a couple of times. I think on one of them third downs, they just sent more people than we had to block, and it was just a better defensive play. What you're starting to realize is that teams have. And I don't think that we could have had two better operations to deal with in preseason games than the Rams and the Ravens to figure out what we are as a football team. And the crazy thing about it is our schedule is going to look like that at a certain point. It's going to look like playing the Rams and the Ravens and a lot of the teams that have been playoff teams or perennial playoff teams, teams that are tough, teams that have things together. What I've learned in these 2 preseason games is that we don't got shit together. We don't got nothing together. And that starts with your head coach. We can sit here and we could dog Joe Milton. We could dog Mozzie. We can dog Jay Toia. And we could dog some of these corners and stuff like that. But a wise movie, and Remember the Titans once said, I think it was it Julius that said it? Attitude reflect leadership. And his team looked like our head coach right now. It looks like our head coach. And, I know what people are going to say. People are going to say it's just preseason. We don't even have our starters in. Dak's not there. Micah's not there. All it tells me is that we're 2-player dependent and we ain't getting shit out. We not getting shit out of our coach, because guess what? The Ravens didn't have their starters in there like that. Lamar didn't play. I don't think Roquan played. They had some starters, but their guys didn't play. And then with the Rams, their guys didn't play. Why is it that they have their stuff together? Because it's coaching. And when coaching matters, as it looks right now, and it could change, he's going to have to figure some things out. But we're not going to have an advantage outside of Micah and Dak again. We're not going to have an advantage there. And you see what we look like without Micah. They're going to have to sit down and get that deal done. Because if we go on week 1 without Micah, they're going to put 50 on our head. We're going to get our ass bust. We're going to get cooked. That's if he don't play. He might play. He's still going to get $25 million. But he could decide to just take the loss and let us deal with that until the Cowboys come to the table, if you want to take that loss. Tuck says the problem with it's just preseason that sends the message we can just turn it on when we want to. quite frankly, I haven't even seen us turn it on. I haven't seen us turn it on once. I haven't seen us turn it on once under Shotty. And I don't want to use practice because, quite frankly, these 2 preseason games and the joint practice show me that these practices ain't shit. We talked about Camp Cupcake with Wade. I remember that. It tells me that what we've been fed is not necessarily all of the journalists' fault and stuff like that. But it let me know our practices is dog shit. I hate cussing like this. But from what I look at and what I look at right now, if this coaching staff doesn't have this type of urgency and this type of this urgency is the word. If you don't got this type of urgency, then get the hell on, bro. And this go for the players too. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen us turn it on one time yet.
Tonight, not executing.
When you said that they should have thrown the ball, you were talking about the interception, or you were talking about the sack?
Bingo,
safety?
Brandy. Bingo.
Ask it again.
When you said he should have thrown it away?
Yeah. So we were backed up. We had the negative play. So we called a quick answer. They showed down, and his feet were he was holding on the slant. We were trying to throw a little flat slant combination, and they had 2 free runners. So that was on him.
That was
Should have thrown away. Yeah. And that's, and again, like every opportunity you get when he comes over, you're teaching, you're coaching, and you're saying, hey, they showed down, they brought the pressure over here, and you're not going to yell and you're not going to scream. You're going to just teach. And the thing I love about Joe is when you talk to him, he's like, you're right. They got us with a cover 0, late in the game, and he was trying to do right and made a call. And there's a couple other things he probably, could have done a little different.
You were bound by the chains of duty.
I'm gonna hide these sometimes with these ads.
Brian Schottenheimer of the ESPN. You said you want to be a physical team on both sides of the ball. Where do you think you guys? I know your regulars haven't played, but through 2 weeks, how would you assess what you've seen up front from your offensive and defense?
Hold on, before he even answer that, y'all. Well, if you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button. But I don't even need to hear it, bro. You can't sit here and tell me that 2 to 3 players change your physicality the way that you are. You can't tell me that Dak, Micah, CD, for one, like 2 of the 3 that I just named aren't even physical players. George Pickens might be, but if you're relying on 2 to 3 to 4 players for you to just become a physical team, you're not a physical team. You just top heavy. I'll say it again. If you're depending on 3 to 4 players for you to just become a physical team, you're not physical. You just top heavy. And that's what we are. Once again, right now, what we've seen, this is not a good football team, y'all. It's not a good football team. Has not been. We've had 3 opportunities to line it up against somebody else, and we have gotten punked all 3 times. We've gotten punked all 3 times. And if you don't got accountability for that, that's another word, accountability. If there's no accountability when it comes to us getting punked, I don't know what else to say.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I just addressed that with the guys. I mean, we're going to have some physical practice this week, Todd. We need
I don't
to
believe shit Shotty said.
We need to play more physical. I know we're more physical than that. Again,
That's
how
what
do
you
you
were
do
saying
that?
from
Well,
the
you do that
get-go,
by
bro.
having padded practices, and you do that by having your run drills and things like that. And we're not going to change who we are.
How you gonna preach physicality and you gave RB1 away for a dude that ain't had no live action, bro? Oh, my bad. The scrimmage. How you gonna preach physicality in the most physical tone setting position on your team to where it shows everybody that you're physically tough with the way you run the ball and how they finish runs? You gave that away. Again, y'all can believe and y'all can have blind faith. I'm not about to do it, but I'll listen to him talk.
We're not going to, sit there and say, okay, hey, well, we're not, a physical team. I'm not ready to say that right now. I don't think that that's the answer. I think we're going to be a physical team, and I think we'll show that. But we have to practice that way. We have to have those in our practices.
Why weren't we practicing that way?
And
Is
bring it
the
into
question. Hope somebody asked that question.
You have BB and Booker in there, guys who will be starters for you. Yet you ran to the left, behind your, Nate Thomas, who makes.
Yeah, that ball's supposed to cut back. It's an inside zone run play that's actually supposed to cut back behind the B block. of booking those guys. We got a little bit of penetration on the front side there. They were zeroed out. They were cover zero. But the ball is supposed to cut back behind those guys. It's an inside zone play that should wrap back.
I know probably have to look at some of the tape, but Booker's play overall.
Yeah, again, I didn't notice him as hard with some of the interior linemen. You guys probably saw it better than I did. But I will say I felt like some of the young guys played really well. I thought Shamar James played really, really well. I noticed him. I think, like you said, Book, played good. I thought Damone, who's really not a young player, he seemed like he was flying all over the place. So there's always positives that come from this. And that's what I told the guys. I said, look, it's not good when you lose both halves. Really you should win at least a half in these preseason games. And disappointed that we did.
You know what, Tuck? Bro, because I love football. I love football too much to not be emotional when it comes to this game being played the right way. So when somebody tells me some bullshit in a game that you can actually prove and line up and do things and execute and all those type of things, I refuse to be lied to my face. This dude sat here. They told you we was going to be physical. All of the assistant coaches and everybody aligned to that shit. Everybody aligned to it. But then he said, we about to have more physical practices. We're going to get to physical practices and this and that. So what the hell was we doing? I thought we was physical. I thought we was being physical. I thought we was learning how to be physical. So what the hell was we doing? Me and Tuck tried to tell y'all when they was kicking people out of practice for doing things that weren't even that bad and setting that tone that way. That's why your team is looking like this. That's why we getting punched in the mouth. We get in practice. In practice, the guys that are physical are getting kicked out. You're not being rewarded for doing the physical things that you need to be able to do. You kicking them out. You kicking them out for reasons that you shouldn't kick them out. We kicked out Marquise Bell for a simple thud up because Mingo couldn't stay up. I mean, what else do y'all expect at this point? What else do y'all expect? The reason that I won't give him a pass, I'm not giving anybody a pass, y'all. I'm not giving nobody a pass. Will I be patient with him? Yes. But if I catch you in a lie, I'm going to call it out. Point blank, period.
But we're going to get back to work and look for solutions.
John Machado with The Athletic, you had several veteran players play this game that didn't play in the first one. How do you just kind of generally go about figuring out why play, let's say, like Kyrie Elam and Jack Sanborn and not like Kenneth Murray?
Yeah, if they're younger players, you want to get them anywhere from 10 to 15 snaps is what you're thinking. Kyrie's new, Sanborn's, a younger player, where K9's played, a lot of football. Murray got to figure some things out experience. And then for some of the guys, it's just, we want to get them out there and let them play a few snaps. Again, we let all of our guys go through pregame warmups. That was a big part of it for us. We wanted to get Dak and CD and all those guys, to go through the pregame warmups. We think that that's important. So the first time that they do it is not, in a regular season game, but
I did like that.
It's a formula based on how much football they've played.
And then I don't know, the TV cameras kind of caught you. Were probably reading too much in this, but it kind of looked like you were annoyed by the way that they're measuring with the sticks now, virtually or whatever. Does that have any impact on you? I think it will as you're calling the game and the time it takes.
Well, the technology is definitely different. It's new. It's on a watch now, which is unique. It sounds like it's, those type of issues are happening kind of around the league right now, but it's preseason, just like the league office isn't going to panic that their system's not working. It's the preseason, just like we're not going to panic, and we're not pushing the panic button. We're pushing the work button, and that's what we're going to do. And we'll get in tomorrow and watch the film, make the corrections. We'll see some guys that probably separated themselves from evaluation process.
Hey, I swear I was just watching Get Rich or Die Trying yesterday, the movie. I whip your head, boy. Hey, they've been whooping on Shotty's head, bro. Turn that visor back the right way. I whip your head, boy.
Which is great for them, and we'll start to, build the week's plan.
Nick Harris, Fort Worth Star Telegram. How much did your offensive reps have to change given the time of possession difference in the
Good
first
question.
Well, again, the thing that I thought we would run the ball better, Nick. I really did. I thought we could run the ball a little bit better, give them some credit. They did a nice job. But really, you try not to press. I thought the defense did a really good job keeping the game to whatever it was. I think, Booth's interception was awesome. It was so great to see him do that. It was a one-score game, I think, late in the second quarter. So there really wasn't much panic. But, we got a couple turnovers on defense, and then we turned it over on offense. We get the one sudden change, which we talked about this, all week in terms of can you gather that momentum. The defense gets the fumble, I think, right? And the very first play, we throw an interception. So those are the things you can't do.
That was a bad throw by Joe Milton.
We had the ball around midfield.
Terrible decision.
Joe knew it right when he came off. I think you guys probably saw it. He took immediate accountability, went over and was talking to the receivers about it. And that's what I love about the guy.
I guess offensive.
All right. He's got a follow-up question, but he said something that I thought was very important. Tuck, you still there, bro? I hope you still there, bro. Because I know you're going to do a video on this. I know my dog Tuck is going to do a video on this. I know he's going to do a video on this. He said, I thought we was going to run the ball better. I hope y'all get used to that because that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen quite a bit this year where we're going to think that we thought we would run the ball better. And that's why we went to throwing. Dog, we got new coaches. We got new coaches, and we got a new offensive line coach. We got a new OC. The play caller is doing exactly what we've been doing. And you heard the thought process. You heard the thought process there. I'm here to prepare y'all. We're not going to run the football with these backs. We're not going to do it. They don't believe in this room just like we don't believe in this room. They put this room together to be good enough. They put it together just to be good enough. But we're not going to lean on the run. It's not going to happen, guys. Will there be times that we'll run the ball a little better? Probably. I think that we have run. There have been certain things that we've done better in the run game in these two preseason games. I actually think schematically we are running the ball a little better. It looks a little bit better. He's not going to commit to it, y'all. He's not going to commit to it. Yeah, and Aaron Glenn is a first-time head coach. So what's the excuse, y'all? Shout out to my boy Tuck. Shout out to my dog Tuck. If y'all not subscribed, y'all doing yourselves a big disservice. I always think 28 runs a game and 35. That's about right. That's what I like, too. And Ty Church says, how many runs are we expecting? For me, I think it's more about can you commit to it? I don't think there's a certain number, but I think it's the intention. It's the intent. It's the intent. These guys, they come out and they run one or two times and don't look the way that they like it. And then all of a sudden, I thought we would run the ball a little better early. Guess what Baltimore did? Baltimore sucked that first possession running the football. Y'all tell me I'm wrong or right in the comments. Baltimore stunk that first possession. I think it was a 3-and-out. Running we actually did the first two games. We had did so well against the run early. And those teams still found ways to run the football against us. They didn't say, I thought we'd run the ball better early. Even though it's preseason, they committed to what it is that they wanted to implement, and they stuck with it. Shotty, in both times, the first preseason game, we didn't even run early. This time we tried, and say, yeah, nah, I thought we run the ball better. I'm trying to tell y'all, I know a coach when they shitting bricks. I know a coach when they're a little panicky right now. And this is his inexperience right here as a head coach and a play caller. But all I can say is that the Rams and the Ravens did not run the ball well early against us, and their intent allowed them to run the ball better. So let me let Nick Harris have his follow-up question.
Specifically, is it tougher to really evaluate whenever there's only so many given reps? I mean, Booker was playing into the third quarter, and that's probably not what y'all anticipated, right?
Yeah, no. But again, there's a number count we were trying to get, and when you don't get as many opportunities, you're going to have to, get the numbers that you want. I think we had them slated.
You got to be better at being vanilla. Plays. That means we're not executing.
I'm not sure exactly what his numbers were, but again, it's a chance for us to get him some live reps that he needs.
Shout out to my dog, C.
No, again, we got a number of guys banged up, and we'll get some testing on those guys tomorrow. But number of guys got banged up. We had to throw a lot of moving parts at corner. We had to put Booth back in the game, some things like that. So we got dinged up pretty good out there.
Tommy Yarch, DallasCowboys.com. You talked about getting a quarterback settled into a game when you start with a safety, and then you mentioned the interception after getting one defensively. What goes into resettling a quarterback into the game when you have stuff like that happen?
Run the football
back into those situations.
Run the football.
Again, number one, you always continue to have trust in them. I mean, I think you saw the third down and long play. We took the shot. He hit the Mingo. And then, unfortunately, we hit a big play, and then we try to, get the ball on the perimeter. We shoot ourselves in the foot. But really, for a young quarterback, it's about stacking plays, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? It's about, okay, get a streak of completions going. Okay, get a completion.
We spend too much time trying to figure out
I missed one.
Joe
Okay,
Milton
start a new streak. Okay, and I think what you find when you do that is they kind of work themselves into a good rhythm, and they feel with a lot more confidence when they're able to do that. So we just we're going to continue to trust Joe, and again, made some great throws, and again, the interception is the first thing that jumps out at me. I wish he'd have that one back.
When Henderson Gilmore, coach.
Yeah, we spending too much time trying to get a quarterback going that we don't know is our backup. Y'all look, I don't want to be negative. I want Joe Milton to work out, and I'll say this right now. I was wrong about Joe Milton. I might have jumped the gun, and I remember people telling me that, and I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? The practices look better and blah, blah, blah. What I found out is that our practices are crap, number one. Like, don't trust any competition that you see there. Don't trust any competition that you see there. It's just not what it is. Joe was lighting our ass up in practice. Joe been lighting our ass up in practice. You know what I'm saying? So it made us think that he was better than what he is or further along than what he is. We wasted 2 preseason games trying to get him going, trying to get his football game up. And you got to ask the question, why? Like, why are you spending so much time on one guy? They're not invested as much in any other player or any other situation working than Joe Milton this preseason. Your preseason cannot be just trying to figure out what one guy is when you got a lot of guys out there, a lot of hungry gentlemen trying to make this team. What they've done in the first 2 games is what you should have done in the 3rd preseason game. Your first 2 preseason games are for you to go out and execute and figure out, you know what I'm saying, the identity of like you. So as a coach, like you know what you want your culture to be, and your backups, your worst player needs to even embody that. We saw that with the Ravens. We saw that with the Rams, that even the backups can execute and be good at what I need them to be good at. Our backups are not good at what we need them to be good at. Matter of fact, I don't know what it is that we need them to be good at because we have not said anything. We have not committed to anything. We have not committed with intent anything or any identity that we want this team to be. We've talked it, but we have not walked it. So to say all that and to go and do all of these things and to not be sure about who your backup is at this point. I know somebody disagreed with me earlier, but I think that those are wasted opportunities if you're not going to commit to him as your backup and figure out how to get some things going. Like, I mean, outside of just putting the game on his back and making it to where you're tailoring everything around him. Like, you can make things easy for him by handing the ball off.
Do you feel like now, you mentioned some of these guys separated themselves a little bit tonight. Do you feel like where you need to be looking to that final preseason game to make the cuts on Friday night's game?
I want to watch the film. I think, that's only fair to these players to say, let's watch the film and see kind of, where we are. But yes, do I believe that that's the case? I do think a few guys took major steps today. What I don't get
That's
a chance
true.
to see a lot of is the special teams.
Some guys
And
did.
that's very critical when you talk about constructing your roster and things like that. So I want to definitely see the film. But again, I think there were some guys that I thought, did a really nice job tonight. And once we see the film, we'll have a better idea.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Unless you have a story, you don't have a way to put.
Okay, that was it. That was Shotty. All right. So that was the press conference, guys. And again, I watched it real time just now with y'all. So every reaction that I had, it was nothing tailored. I didn't know what questions were coming forward. I didn't know what his responses would be. I just know that it was important for me to watch the game, which I did earlier, and take notes and figure out where we are as a football team. And the thing that I figured out right now is that we're not a very tough football team. We're not a very deep football team. We haven't changed very much from last year to this year. We got some soul searching to do. And Dak is going to have to be Superman, y'all. Dak is going to have to be Superman. Micah, we're going to need Micah. There's no way around it. Based on practice, we thought maybe this pass rush would be this or that. Again, the pass rush won't get an opportunity if we cannot stop the run. Eberflus might be showing some things with slanting and stuff like that, but it looked like the Ravens caught us every time we tried to slant, and they just washed us down the field every time. And we just did not have the experience, or we just did not have the ability to not get moved. I have not seen any changes, Tuck, really. And I'm going to point out something. And, I got called a Zeke lover. Tuck got called a Zeke lover. Boss got called a Zeke lover. But y'all tell me this. What's different from Javonte Williams being RB1 already than it was with Zeke getting it last year for week 1? What's different? Javonte did not have to go out and work. He did not. He did not. There was a scrambled running back room. We were trying to figure it out, how to do it by committee and all this type of stuff. And it looks the exact same. And we blamed McCarthy for that. But in actuality, let me spit some facts for y'all. Javonte Williams is making the most in that running back room with $3 million. Did y'all really think that there was an opportunity for Miles? I did think, and this is where I was wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Tuck told us from day one. He told me in CFT, he told us. He said, look, Javonte Williams about to be RB1. He was like, nah, Miles Sanders got the experience. Miles. He said, I think Miles is the one that's going to get cut. We got to stop doubting this boy Tuck, bro. We got to stop doubting him because he called that shit to a T. And he ain't have to see one rep. And quite frankly, Dallas hasn't really either. This is about money. A cheap-ass $3 million got you RB1. Shout out to his agent. Thatcher said Miles almost fumbled that pitch. Yeah, but you don't even know if Javonte Williams wouldn't have fumbled in that game or wouldn't have fumbled the pitch either. We ain't seen him, bro. We haven't seen him. At least we saw Miles. We haven't seen him, bro. Hell, I watched Ashton Genty get reps yesterday. I watched Braylon Allen. I watched Brees Hall for the Jets. The game that I watched a lot of was the Giants and the Jets. And we're in trouble, dog, because the Giants is not playing, y'all. The Giants are a lot more physical. They got a running game. Russ threw that bomb yesterday. Bruh, the Giants ain't playing, bro. We don't know what we got in that running back room, and that scares me a little bit. The most consistent thing that we saw out of that running back room, if we're being 100, y'all know I'm the guy I watch, is that Malik Davis has run the ball the best in the 2 weeks that he's been here. In the week, actually. Malik Davis really looks the most comfortable running that ball. That's the only thing I can tell you about the running back room. Oh, and that Deuce Vaughn ain't no punk. He stood in there against some heat. They blitzed, and Deuce Vaughn picked that shit up like a champ yesterday. Go watch the tape. I saw that. And he didn't get a fair opportunity. He didn't get a fair opportunity. And then think about this. A lot of y'all love Maffa, right? A lot of y'all love Maffa. Maffa, oh, my bad, not this. Maffa not going to get a fair opportunity because they done already locked up RB1, and Blue ain't going nowhere. So keep it a buck. Now, look, we can say Russ not that, but their defensive line, they're just a tougher football team than we are playing right now. And it's like we be asking Dak. We're already asking too much of Dak. Dak could win us that game by itself, but I'm just saying it's not as easy because it's not Daniel Jones. Russ is 10 times better than Daniel Jones. And that's kind of where it is. It's like we were winning game. We were beating the Giants because Daniel Jones was just trash. We were winning games because of that. Last year, we went life and death with them in that first game with them. So that's kind of where it is. It's not comparing him to Dak, but it's just that he's better than Daniel Jones. And Russ can at least play 4 quarters of a game, and he can win you a game. He might not be as consistent when playing like at an all-pro level or anything like that, but Russ can win you a game. It's not about competition. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's not about competition. Because a lot of people think Jalen Tolbert is your number 3 receiver. Hell, Jalen Tolbert showed y'all out here. I think Jalen Tolbert has had his worst camp. I think he's had his worst camp. And I think people are outplaying him right now. Mingo has outplayed him right now. Holden has outplayed him right now. Turpin, we already know what they think of Turpin because Turpin ain't played. Nobody in that running back room with them giving Javonte Williams the RB1 tag kind of right now, and we're just speculating, but it's more than likely the truth. Nobody's gotten a fair shake for real. Now, a couple guys have gotten hurt. Deuce didn't do himself no favors. Miles didn't do himself no favors by getting hurt. Blue didn't do no favors by getting hurt. But damn, can we see homeboy do one series and then take him out? Can we see him get one carry? We don't even know if he can pick blitzes up in live action. Like I said, I don't trust shit from practice. I don't trust nothing from practice. I don't trust nothing from that Travis Shammer mockery of a practice that they be trying to tell y'all is competitive. Because he sat here and told you we got to get more physical. Well, then damn, what the hell was we doing? What was we doing? Dave Jenkins said, I'm hoping Deuce makes the team again. Vaughn hasn't gotten a fair chance. Deuce ain't going to make this team. He ain't going to make this team. He's not going to make it. Your 3 backs are probably, I'm going to see if Tuck agrees. It's probably Williams. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. I got to plug this PC in. All right. All right. So it's probably going to be Williams. It's going to be Blue. I don't think Sanders is going to make it. They might mess around. I don't know who the third is going to be, but I don't think it's going to be Sanders. It might be Maffa. Might be, possibly. Just because the fans gravitate towards him and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know who the third back is going to be, but you know Hunter going to be on the team. And what they might do is they might keep 3 backs so they can keep more receivers. And it might be the third back is Hunter Lipke. And that might be how they do it. JV said I'm out on Lipke. I'm not out on Lipke. He does a lot of good things for us if they allow him to do. He's a good blocker. And he plays specials too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think they'll probably go 3 backs. It'll probably be probably be Williams, Blue, and Lipke. And then they'll probably put some guys on the practice squad or something like that. And just so that they can keep the receivers, just so that they can keep Tolbert. Jay Money said I ain't like Sanders' vision yesterday. I mean, I didn't like a lot yesterday. Somebody said RB1 hooping on another team right now. If they went and got Breece Hall, I saw Breece Hall yesterday. I liked what I saw from Breece, and they got some backs behind them that they might be willing to see. That's who you go trade a 4th rounder for. You trade a 4th rounder with somebody that's going to play. You know what I'm saying? We keep trading 4th rounders for guys that can't get on the field. We keep trading 4th rounders for guys that can't get on the field. I think Breece Hall would be an excellent addition to this team right now. Excellent addition to this team. I think that it will work. Maybe I'll go into the film room and watch him versus the Giants. But he ran that ball. He got behind his pads. He was driving his feet. You know what I'm saying? He was driving his feet. He looked good. I would take Breece Hall, and I would feel better about it. I would feel better about Breece Hall, and I think that that's something that they could lean on if they need to in the crunch and stuff like that. I think they'd lean on Breece Hall. But that's where I'm at with the running back position. So he said that's trash. Yeah, I know it's trash, bro. It's trash because they set it up to be trash. It's trash because they set it up to be trash. Lead commander. Man, how y'all looking over there, man? Tell me how the Commanders is looking. Shotty is a very good talker. He is Jerry-like. Very good talker, for sure. Hold on. Damn, I got the wrong comment. Yep. We keep giving up 4th rounders for nothing because we trying to recreate the Dak situation because we ain't really want him. Dak been playing them like a fiddle with negotiations. He's a good player. He ain't really their dude. They keep trying to replace him. You're right. Because people that they really don't want to replace, they don't do it. They have not, like D-Law was safe for years. They didn't really mess with D-Law. He was safe for years. Tony was safe for years. Witten, safe for years. Well, nah, they tried to get Martellus Bennett, but for the most part outside of that, safe for years. And they still protected him even with Martellus Bennett on this roster. When they want you to be safe, they want you to be safe. What's up, Tony? How you doing? Drew said Will Shipley's better than all the backs in Dallas. I agree. It was a 5th and a 7th for Milton. It wasn't a bad trade, but wasn't a need. True. Because, I mean, you could have signed to Jameis. You could have signed to Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? Guys that have experience that will be better right now. And we could get a look for an offense that actually know how to run an NFL offense. Right now, what it looks like is in game time that Joe Milton doesn't know how to really command the offense right now. He still has to learn. And you can keep a guy like Milton around, but he's got to learn. You know what I'm saying? He's got to learn. So, I mean, I don't know. Y'all know that week 3 is typically the throwaway for preseason games, and that's not the game that you're looking to get better from. So I kind of think we saw what we're going to see, and we're going to be really dependent on the guys that didn't play. We're going to be really dependent on the guys that had their chains out and stuff yesterday. Really dependent on CD, Dak, Pickens, Micah. So, man, look, I'm going to head on out, man. I'm going to spend some time with my family on this Sunday. I suggest you guys do that too. Try not to fight so much today. Us content creators and, you know, people who are fans, we've been spending a lot of time fighting each other for an organization that don't want to change, that don't care as much as we do. I don't think we should lose sleep over this. I don't think we should lose friends over this. You know what I'm saying? I think that we should just support the team the very best that we can. Call it the way that you see it. We can disrespect, but we could – I'm not disrespect. We could disagree, but we don't have to be disrespectful. Because I promise you right now, the way that this team is constructed, the way that it's run, they are not losing sleep the way that they're building it. So we shouldn't either. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit that like button on the way out. If you're on Instagram, because I am Instagram live right now as well, go to YouTube and hit the like button as well. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate everybody for being here. And we out. Peace.
I can't feel the pain, I'm numb to all you say. Keep it real and stay 100 through the rain. I can feel there's something missing from your face. So keep it real and stay 100 in your veins. Put me in these boxes, still I'm trying to break away. I just roll it up and down some liquor for my pain. Thoughts inside my head, it's nightmares instead of some dreams. I've been trying to hold on to everything from the seams. Try to get it by any means. There's no accepting defeat with all this pressure that's on me. Trusting whenever I breathe, cause everything is on me. If everybody is down, I gotta pick up all the pieces. Yeah, I can't fall, cause I do it for my dog, so she can make it fall. Ain't worry about your comments, cause I believe in karma. No time for your bullshit or any petty